Hi guys, it's Jean here. Welcome to my channel. So I don't think there's ever been a more appropriate time to do a mukbang but now. So I thought I would have lunch, a social lunch with you guys, and just give a little bit of an update. So I'm just going to jump into it because I haven't had lunch and this isn't something that I normally eat. But I thought I would try some frozen pizzas. So I'm eating the McCain pepperoni. Only because it was half price once. So I bought a whole lot of it. It's been in the freezer for emergencies. And what do you know? We are in a pandemic right now. So this, I guess, is an emergency lunch. Also, it's actually a lot smaller than I thought it would be. Like, I don't know, I thought it would be slightly bigger, but anyway. So also have a bit of potato jams and some, this is aioli sauce with some chili sauce and also some tea. Okay, so it's a whole lot of tea. Just iced tea. Forgotten the brand, but I was actually given this tea by Bees from Bees. On Bee's list. I'll leave her link down, but she sent me some tea, so thank you. It's actually quite good, and like lately I've just been really thirsty, so I'm just like smashing these teas. Anyway, so like I said, I don't think there's ever been a more perfect time to do a mukbang because everyone should be self-isolating right now. And if you don't know what's going on, then I don't know where the hell you've been. So in Australia, we're on stage 2 lockdowns, which means, you know, if you can avoid going out, don't go out. So this is meant to be a thin crust pepperoni. Big hitting flavors of New York, topped with mildly spiced pepperoni, mozzarella, and a hint of chili. It's not that bad. It definitely tastes like a frozen pizza. But it is something that I wouldn't mind buying again. Like I said, I don't normally buy frozen pizzas because pizzas itself is generally cheap anyway. So we normally just order pizza. But this normally costs $7.50, I think. And it was half price, so I was going to pay $3.75. So I think $3.75 for frozen pizzas is kind of worth it. And the dough is kind of like, this is a thin crust, but it tastes kind of biscuity. It's thin and crispy, oven baked, stone baked base. So like I said, I thought I'll give a bit of an update as well. If you've been following my channel, then you know I haven't been posting anything in a while. And I did actually record a few things, especially around the whole coronavirus, day-to-day stuff. But I just felt like, actually, I just recorded me trying to go grocery shopping with like nothing on the shelves. The shelves were all empty. But I felt like everyone was going through it anyway. And it wasn't the most, I guess, upbeat video. So I didn't feel necessary to try to, you know, share that with you guys. And I want to kind of make good content rather than just posting videos up every week. So if I feel like I don't have good content, then I decide I'm not going to post anything up. So yeah. Well, I haven't really been doing much, so yeah, didn't really have time to record anything. So I know it's been really crazy around everywhere, and I kind of felt like I did jinx it. So I did say at the start of the year that 2020 was something big's going to happen, but I didn't in a million years think it was going to be this big. Like, I thought it was big as in someone really, really famous died or like something like that, but this is just full-blown crazy. And the year I decided, you know, I want to try to make a change and do the most, go to the gym and stuff like that, all this happened. So I haven't been able to go to the gym, which totally sucks. And I shouldn't really be eating this, but kind of emotionally eating today. I think I bought this 2 other flavors, one in Angus beef and one tandoori chicken. So I'm actually quite excited to try this because this is actually not bad. For $3.75, it's actually quite good. It reminds me of the pizzas you used to get in primary school during canteen orders. So like I said, I hope everyone is at home isolating right now. And I know some people can be really hard at doing this, which is why I thought, you know, if you have nothing to do, maybe we can schedule like a, you know, a dinner date or a lunch date. So even though you're at home eating yourself, we can just eat together or something like that. But honestly, I feel like I've been self-isolating for a couple of weeks now. Even like 2 years or so now. Ever since having Izzy. But maybe because I've been home and not working as well, that I just feel really isolated, especially during the weekday. But that being said though, if this was 3 years ago and someone said that you can't go out, you have to stay home and not go out, I would have been so freaking happy. It would have been a dream come true. Obviously not with, you know, whole virus going on, but just being told to stay at home would have been a dream come true. Fortunately now though, I haven't been able to, and I thought I'd give you a little update as well with me. So if you've been following me, I'm just curious to know about my life. I obviously became a stay-at-home mom when I had Isabel, and it wasn't really by choice. But I've always felt something missing in my life. As much as I love watching her grow and, you know, being there with her and experiencing everything new together. And I love her. I love her so much. But at the same time, stay-at-home mum being a full-time job is definitely not my thing. And I found it really challenging because for me, I guess in the whole terms of identity, I found it really hard with this new title of being a mother, it's like literally a stay-at-home mother. And I think it was for the best of all of us if I went back into the workforce. So I have been, I guess, low-key, like I wasn't like full-on looking for a job, but I have been looking for a job for a while now. And I guess it was really hard as well because I've been in the same industry, same company prior for almost 10 years. And I don't really have much qualifications or anything, but I have determination to have like this ideal job. And it was a bit of a struggle, but I am currently working at the moment. So I started literally a few weeks ago. And I'm not going to go into too much details in what I do, but I do work in the health industry now. So it is very hard to self-isolate. And you know, I am working casually as well as my husband, so we both rely on our jobs so much, and it's hard because times like this, everyone goes into panic modes, and you would have obviously seen it in shopping centers, panic buying everywhere. But now, because we're all starting to go into lockdown, especially, I know other countries have, but especially in Australia, we're in the middle of going through a lockdown. And people are just panicking. There are so much jobs lost because so many businesses have to close down and so many unemployed people now waiting at Centrelink because there's like not enough jobs to go around. And it's really sad to go through something like that. And in a way, I feel bad because I wasn't in the same position, but I know how it feels to not have a job and be insecure about where your, you know, funds are going to come from. And what am I going to say? And I guess I'm just blessed that in a situation like this, that I do have a job that I can go to. My only worry is that if my husband and I can't have to go to work, someone needs to look after Isabel. And if no one can look after her, then we can't work. So for me, doing the isolation is more so we don't get sick. But I'm also worried because we have been sick, not with the virus, obviously, but with just like, you know, slight flu symptoms, like cold symptoms, just a lot of random stuff that I don't want to be responsible to passing it to other people, which is why when I can, I'll try to stay home unless I have to go to work. And because I do work in a healthcare, like a health industry, I am also worried that what if I take something home with me? Because as much as you think healthcare, the health system is, the health industry is safe, it's actually not really. Like, I've learned a lot within the past couple of weeks that I've been working there, that our health system, our health industry, as much as I provide support, it's pretty much in the bare minimum. So I try to stay home when I can. Potato gems. I feel like I haven't had these in such a long time. Have you noticed potato gems are literally mini hash browns? So I noticed 2 weeks ago was when we started running out of toilet paper, and, like, in the shops, and people were going crazy, panic buying. And I wasn't really panic buying because I feel like, as much as it is a world emergency pandemic and, you know, everyone is impacted by it, I feel like everyone is in the same boat. So there's no need to really stockpile and buy things. And it really does make me angry when people, especially friends I know that have been doing it as well, to the point that I have to start stockpiling, not because I want to, but because every time I go grocery shopping, there is nothing there to buy. And I feel like the past couple of weeks, I'm just buying whatever I can buy. Like, we bought so much, like, frozen meals just to put in the freezer just to be safe. And not because we want to, but because I'm more worried that people are buying everything that we won't have enough later on. Like, you should only be really stocking up for 14 days, like 2 weeks or so. But I feel like we have to stock up because everyone else is and buying everything. I think that Australian government is doing their best to address the situation, but I also think that they're wasting a lot of time waiting for other people to make moves and then following through as well. But the government has decided to give out corona bonuses for people that are on welfare. It's part of stage 1. And then stage 2, I think they also introduced more stimulus money to help small businesses that have been impacted that have to close. Which I think that is a good thing for small businesses, but I don't necessarily agree with people getting money on welfare. Like, it's all good and all, but I don't understand. Right now, it's an emergency that impacts everyone. You know, we all should be locking down to slow down the spread of COVID, the virus. But at the same time, I understand that there is an economic crisis if everyone is to be locked down. But I don't understand how the decision to give money to people that are on the welfare, like a bonus money boost, would have made the situation better, because everyone needs money. Everyone needs money, but it shouldn't be money. It should be basic. It should be a package, like food package of basics that everyone gets instead. I think because this is really personal for me as well, that when I'm grateful that in Australia we have Centrelink, where if you can't work, you know, for some reason, we have a welfare system that helps provide and to get back on your feet. However, so there were a few things I wanted to talk about, which is why I thought I would do the mukbang. But now that I'm sitting here, I'm actually enjoying eating rather than talking. So this might be an awkward video, but like I said, I did try to record videos weekly, but I just felt like with everything happening with the COVID-19 coronavirus that, I just didn't want to bring more negativity and more bitching and complaining, but I feel the need to kind of get a few things off my chest. So one is my view on this virus. Like, I'm hearing, like, when the virus broke out in China, in Wuhan, everyone was all freaking out, but there was already speculations that this virus was man-made and it was intentionally let out by China to rule the world. That this virus was, there's been a lot of misinterpreted information through the media, and I feel like we are kind of being held back on certain information. So I feel that with this virus, so I know from what, like, I haven't looked into it much, to be honest, and from what I'm aware is that a virus like this is obviously known. Like, I think Bill Gates did a TED talk 5 years ago, already warning people that the next thing isn't going to be a nuclear war or nuclear emergence, like world emergency. It's going to be a health one. So we've already been warned, apparently. And I'm assuming, there are obviously people, scientists, researchers that can predict what will happen. Like, obviously not to the fine details, but at least, predict what will happen in the future to actually be prepared. And I'm surprised, I think I read somewhere that the Obama government started a new team to kind of do a lot of research and fund a lot to kind of prepare when the Trump government came in, just demolished all that and got rid of it. That's just in the States. I'm not sure about other countries, but I'm sure, government will have some kind of team or some kind of backup plan ready when things like this happen. So I'm actually surprised it's gotten this far, especially in this day and age. Like, the last major health scare was the Spanish flu, and that was in 1918, which was like 100 years ago. So whether it's a coincidence that it's almost been 100 years for another one to happen, but back then, obviously, it was harder. It was because there wasn't, advanced technology then. But now we're in 2020. Like, if there is if they're telling you to stay home to stop preventing it, you stay home, and it's not going to make a big difference. Like, everyone is crying. Like, most people cry, complaining, say, "Oh, it's so boring being isolated at home." This has been my dream come true for, like, ever. Like, if you told me 3 years ago to stay home, I would have been the happiest person, happily obliged to stay home. If you want me to stay home for 2 weeks, fine. A month, fine. Oh, 6 months, whatever. Like, I would have been so freaking happy. But I feel like nowadays people are they feel they're entitled to just do whatever they want. It's like this new generation, how, oh, the world is ours, we can do whatever we want, freedom kind of thing. Like, dude, just stay the fuck home. It's not that hard. You're not going to die. You're not going to miss out on anything because you can still have the internet. You can still connect with people. Like, as much as it is hard that, you can't, especially the elderly, like, check up on them in person, but at least you can still pick up the damn phone, contact them, ask if they're okay. I just feel like if this could have been prevented, well, if not prevented, at least controlled in a better way. Australian government as well, I feel like we're just taking the back seat, wait to see what everyone else does before we jump on board. Like, mind you, I am grateful and thankful that, that they are doing the most that they can. I just feel like they could have done it better. The government in Australia have released stimulus packages, to boost the economy, but I feel like we are all in the same boat here. Like, it's not that this is targeting some people, this is targeting everyone. And I got really angry when he was like, you know, people that are on welfare system will get like a $750 boost just so they can spend and boost the economy, which I think that is, we're all in the same boat. Like, everyone is all buying everything off the shelf. Like, there are people that make me angry because they're panic buying everything. And I'm chilled as fuck. Like, you know, I'm okay. I understand, you just got to isolate yourself, buy the most you can. But I feel like I have to panic buy because everyone else is, that they're buying everything off the shelf, that I have to buy whatever I can find, which means that the next person doesn't get anything. And it's just so stupid. Like, we're in the same boat that we don't, yeah, I get it. Like, you know, we might have like the worst economy crisis ever, but what is more important, that or people's lives? And what we need more than giving people on welfare money is giving everyone, like, instead of money, giving them like package, like basic grocery packages, if that makes sense. Like, I guess what I'm more annoyed about is because being a stay-at-home mum, I applied for Centrelink like I would, you know, any other Australian. And I did the right thing, reported the right thing from what I thought met the threshold to receive some benefits, but turned out I didn't, or barely received anything at all, like the bare minimum. And the minute I reported that I was going back to work and reported my estimated hours, coincidentally, they cancelled my benefit on the 31st of March, which meant that I may not be eligible for any boost, which totally sucks because I feel like I've received that kind of treatment through my whole time of not being eligible for anything. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that, you know, there are people that have money, there are people that don't have money, and then there are people that in between that just get nothing from both ends, that, you know, need something as well. Like, I'm grateful that small businesses, like, they're giving stimulus packages, especially now there's a whole lot of unemployment because businesses have to close down, especially small businesses as well. I don't know, like, it's just do not understand why, but this chili sauce is a bit spicy. Like I said, like, I've been like so thirsty lately. I don't know why. Another thing that I don't understand is why people cannot keep a social distance as well. But on the news, they'll probably have people still going out and about, doing their thing, going to the beach and things like that. I'm like, how hard is it just to stay at home? So, like I said, now that I work, it means I can't really self-isolate during the weekday. But I try to do it any other time, apart from the fact I have to go grocery shopping, which is stupid as well, because grocery shopping is not just going to one place and buying groceries. I feel like you have to go to a couple of different places just to get what you need, because most places are out of stock on one thing, and then you go to another and they're out of stock on another, so you have to go back to another place. And I feel sorry for families with, like, you know, big families, because a lot of places are limiting amounts of stock as well. Like, I was having trouble buying meat and they'd jacked up the prices as well. So I've been buying eggs and just eating eggs, but they've limited that to 2 dozen per transaction. And I really hope big families get like some kind of exemption or ways around it that they can purchase more. Because if you've got a big family and you're limited to a certain amount of products, it means that you have to go back the next day or the next day to keep buying more, which defeats the whole purpose of staying at home. Like, we haven't really been doing much on the weekends anyway, and for the past couple of months, because it's not by choice, it's because we just haven't had money to go out and spend it. But it's really not that bad. Like, so far what I've been doing while I've been self-isolating is cleaning the house. I mean, this is a perfect time for self-love as well. I have been cleaning the house, like one room a day. I've done my regrowth, so I had some hair dye, so I did my regrowth. I have, what else have I done? I did some cooking, just like, you know, freezing into like portions. I'm going to also use this time to kind of teach myself how to, so I actually, while I was while Isabel was a baby during those 3 a.m. feeds, I actually bought a sign language course online because it was on sale. Mind you, this was almost 2 years ago and I haven't done it yet, so I could use this time to do that. Also look into veggie gardening, how to grow vegetables, because I feel like now's a good time to kind of reset yourself back to, you know, just being human, not relying on technology, processed food, grocery stores. Get in touch with what it's really like to grow, like to live with the basics and with nature. So I want to be able to learn how to properly grow vegetables. And also help Isabel's development. Like, she's 18 months today, but I feel like she's not really walking solo, like by herself yet, or having proper words. And I know most people are like, no, don't be worried, kids do things at their own pace, but I am kind of slightly worried because she's already 18 months. And I just want to, not that I'm worried that there's anything wrong with her, I just want to be able to, you know, just be able to catch her early if there is, so I can properly educate myself and provide, you know, give her the best support that I can. But yeah, it's also a great time, especially if you're isolating with your partner. It's also a great time to really work on relationship issues. Like, I guess I say that because, you know, there will probably be a rise in divorces after this, but I think it's a good time to also have a conversation, have a chat. Just understand each other. But I really can't wait for me to go into full isolation lockdown and not having to go to work. But I don't mind working either because it means I get paid. So I apologize if this video is not as interesting as you thought it would be. I love watching mukbangs and I love making them, but once I start to record it doesn't actually turn out exactly the way I thought it would be. Another thing as well, this is a perfect time to teach your kids good hygiene. And I know online, especially on Instagram, Facebook, people are starting to post like challenges and tag people to continue with the challenges. I think it's a good thing, but I feel like there's not enough on good hygiene. I know I've seen a safe hands challenge where celebrities just tag each other to, you know, challenge themselves, put up a video on self-hygiene. But I feel like we need to teach our kids as well. And what better way is to come up with a little song or a way of remembering how to wash your hands. So I've been thinking long and hard, and I think I'm going to post something up on my IG. So if you don't follow me on IG because I'll post something up soon. But I've come up with kind of a thing to kind of teach your kids how to wash their hands. And I think I'm onto something. So I'd be interested to see, you know, if you come up with your own. But make sure you follow me on IG. And follow the trend. Does anyone else get to the last couple of pieces of pizza and not eat the crust? Like, I feel like having a pizza, this is the last piece, by the way. I did a pretty good job. Like, it honestly wasn't the biggest slice. Like, the fact that it had the word New York automatically made me think it was a big slice of pizza. And the box is quite big, but when you open and take it out, it's actually quite small. But you usually get so into eating pizzas that you eat everything, but in the last couple of pizzas when you start to get full, I kind of just start picking off the toppings. And this is why I hate thick base pizza. Like, do not get me started, girl, because I get so angry when I get a thick base pizza, because I feel like if I wanted a pizza bread, I'll order a pizza bread. I don't want pizza for I want a bit of crispiness, but you know, obviously I want a lot of topping on it. But yeah, so before I started, I actually didn't think this was enough for a mukbang, and I was gonna actually cook some like instant noodles as well, but this is how much I've got left, and it's quite filling, so good thing I did it. Overall, like, it's actually not bad. It is definitely something I would buy again, but I'll probably wait till it's on sale. Like, the taste is good, and I think the portioning is actually enough. I mean, at the end of the day, I wouldn't rate this as a pizza. Like, this is definitely a frozen pizza meal, so don't expect nothing out of it. But I think it is, you know, quite worth it for $3.75. And potato gems, you can't go anything wrong. They're just like little mini hash browns, which has been good as well. I mean, it's not the healthiest meal, but you know, when you are starting to run out of food and you don't have fresh produce, then it's not too bad. Definitely something worth stocking up in. Let me know what your COVID meals have been like. I've been posting on Instagram stories like COVID dinners, things that I've been pulling out from the pantry or the freezer to eat. But yeah, I think in times like this, my only advice is to stay calm. Think, you know, what would your grandparents do in their time without technology? You know, really reconnect with being, you know, humans, and really appreciating, doing a lot of self-love. And, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, now we see a lot of, you know, chefs, a lot of cooks come up with videos on like using staple items. And yeah, so apologies if this video kind of bored you. In my mind, I had a direction. I have a direction of all my videos, and then when I start to record it, it just doesn't go as the way I planned. But yeah, let me know what, you know, we should do this again. Like, we don't know how long this lockdown is going to be, so we should do it again and maybe coordinate. So let me know what you plan, like what you've been eating. Let me know what you've been up to, what you've been doing while you're at home. But yeah, so stay safe, stay clean, stay healthy. Peace.